More than 9,000 years ago, the first city had yet to be built. Most sedentary people lived in hamlets like the one R discovered. Yet as villages thrived and grew, the first towns appeared. At Catal Huyuk, in what's now Turkey, lived up to 6,000 people. A small town by our standards, but a metropolis in the Neolithic era. Perhaps the world's largest concentration of humans.
This is the major change. Instead of smaller sites that prevailed in the Paleolithic, you suddenly have your whole community living together. So it's the agglomeration, the clustering of all those wandering bands of hunters-gatherers that belong to your tribe, the people with whom you had communication over large distances in order to mate with them, suddenly they become all inhabitants in one place.
Many houses were made of bricks and bricks of raw clay, free, abundant, and easy to handle. The design of houses began to change over time, and square, expandable homes replaced round huts.
The circular house is not easily enlarged, so they had to make other circular houses, other boxes, other rooms on the exact same model. Conversely, the quadrangular house could be cropped, made bigger by adding new cubes. So maybe at the time they went from a system that until then had been a group system to a more family-style system with a more clearly defined ownership of goods. Therefore, you always have to imagine that these architectural changes were underpinned by mindset changes and societal changes.
When mankind quit the nomadic life and settled down, he entered an era of invention and innovation. Agriculture is taking shape. Wheat and barley from the Fertile Crescent spread to Europe and India. Rice and millet grow in China. Corn, potatoes, and peppers in America. Sorghum in Africa. When he selects seeds from the hardiest plants, man becomes the first species to improve on nature. And when he clears the land, he makes the landscape more human. It's 8,500 years ago in the Middle East. Hamlets have mushroomed into villages. With more security and stability, more children are born and fewer die. More people, more homes, and more tension. A villager named Uki has his eye on a mate.
Niki.
Uki's amulet tells him he's a descendant of the Gaia. Niki could continue the lineage. The village boasts a revolutionary addition, but no one lives here. It's the house of the dead. To remember the ancestors, villagers preserve their skulls and paint their faces to resemble who they'd been. Today, Uku of the Baluta family has his mind on the living.
Niki.
Niki has two rivals. Jealousy will lead to tragedy. Niki's father will choose his daughter's husband. Uki decides to beat his rival to the altar with a bribe. livestock takes a more central role in villages. After the hunt, they bring young animals back alive. Wild boars and mountain goats, kept and fed for fresh meat.
Niki! Come on,
Uki offers a rare engagement gift to Niki's father. His family's only boar. He's too late. Uku's family offered 2 rare animals. Mice catchers.
Niki. Niki, ara ozor.
Para. Para.
Arubi tiksha. Niki. Uah, arudu.
Para.
In a world without money, power comes from barter. The less you own, the less power you have. Competition is changing. Survival of the fittest is becoming survival of the richest. This world still has a place for brute strength. Uki has done 2 things unheard of: law-breaking and eloping. He'll take Niki away and start a new life.
Uki! Arutek siya duadani!
To lovers, life is an Eden. But every Eden has its serpent.
Hani kwe. Haru hani bitsu to hani. Se moždo. Se moždo. Ozorenka. Oka Niki.
Uki knows how to cure her. First, he must stop her shivering.
Tekshare alwe.
A fire would be risky. The village might spot it. Uki barely clings to life. But the fight for Niki isn't over. Agriculture, the next great step on the path to civilization, took time. The evidence for this appears in the ancient Turkish town of Catal Huyuk, built more than 9,000 years ago. Since 1993, Ian Hodder has led the excavations here.
Catal Huyuk is simply a lot of houses, huge numbers of houses, all crammed together, and people moved around on the surfaces. And there